Let's be honest, is anxiety running your day? It's so easy to think it's this new modern problem, from all the notifications and deadlines. But what if the best solutions aren't new at all? What if they're ancient? Today, we're diving into some seriously timeless wisdom, rituals that have been calming people down for thousands of years. I'm going to show you how to use them to take back control, even when modern life feels completely chaotic.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at why these old school methods are so powerful. Then we're going to get super practical. We've got 5 amazing techniques you can literally start using today. A breathing method from Taoism, an anchoring ritual from Tibet, a super clarifying writing practice from the Stoics, and then we'll wrap up with 2 really unique rituals from Buddhism and Taoist martial arts.
So, first things first, why are we looking to the past? Well, because anxiety isn't some new invention. Our world might be unrecognizable to someone from 1,000 years ago, but our brains, they're pretty much wired the same way. Civilizations in ancient China, Tibet, and Greece, they treated the mind like a science, and they got really, really good at understanding it.
And here's what they figured out. The mind has patterns, predictable ones. The rituals they came up with weren't just spiritual fluff. They were actually sophisticated psychological tools. Think of them as technologies designed to keep your mind calm and centered while the world outside just keeps getting faster and louder.
Okay, let's get into our first ritual. This one is a game changer, and it comes from ancient Taoism. It's called the vessel breath. The idea is so simple but so powerful. Picture your body as a vessel, and your breath is the water inside. When you're anxious, that water is all choppy and chaotic, right? Shallow, fast breathing. This ritual teaches you how to make that water calm and still. So here's exactly how you do it. Just get comfortable in your chair, back straight. Now breathe in slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Feel your belly expand, not your chest. Now hold it just for 2 seconds. Let it settle. And now the most important part, exhale slowly, really slowly for a count of 6. Feel all that tension leaving your shoulders. Just do that a few times and feel the difference. It's incredible.
This ancient Taoist saying says it all. Your breath and your mind are completely linked. They knew that if you could consciously control your breath, slowing it down, making it deeper, you could literally steer your mind out of an anxious spiral and back to calm. And what's amazing is that modern science totally backs this up. Longer exhales actually switch on your body's built-in relaxation response. They knew this thousands of years ago.
And please, don't think this is just for meditating on a cushion somewhere. This is a tool for real life. Use it when you're drowning in emails at your desk. Use it the second you wake up with that knot of dread in your stomach. Use it when you feel that tightness in your chest. In literally 60 seconds, you can hit the reset button on your entire nervous system.
All right, our next ritual takes us to the monasteries of ancient Tibet. It's called the Ground of the Four Corners, and it is an absolutely brilliant way to pull a racing mind out of some scary future what-if and plant it firmly back in the present moment, where things are actually okay.
The practice could not be simpler. The next time your mind starts spinning out, just stop, wherever you are, and just name one thing you can physically feel, like the cool surface of your desk or the soft fabric of your shirt. Then name one thing you can see, then one thing you can hear, and finally, one thing you can smell. You're just checking in with your 4 sensory corners.
And what's so cool about this is, well, here's the secret. Anxiety almost always lives in the future, right? It's about what might happen. But your senses, they can only exist right now, in this exact moment. So by forcing your brain to pay attention to them, you're yanking it out of that imaginary danger and back into physical reality. Psychologists today have a fancy name for it, grounding techniques. But guess what? Tibetan monks were masters of this centuries ago. Okay, next up, the ancient Stoics. We're talking about people who stayed calm through plagues, wars, total political chaos. A normal Tuesday. And one of their most powerful tools was used by the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius himself. All you need is a pen and a piece of paper.
The ritual is just 3 steps. First, and this is key, get all that chaos out of your head and onto the page. Don't filter it, just a total brain dump. Step 2, draw a line right down the middle of the page. On the left side, list everything you wrote down that you absolutely cannot control. On the right, list the things you can control. And finally, step 3, mentally let go of everything on the left side. Just release it. And then pick just one small thing from the right side that you can do. Just one.
This really gets to the heart of Stoic wisdom. See, our minds are terrible at holding on to problems. They just spin them around, making them bigger and scarier.
But the simple act of writing them down, it clarifies everything. It shrinks these huge, terrifying worries down to their actual manageable size. It turns vague anxiety into a clear, simple plan.
Our fourth practice is, well, it's just beautiful. It's a simple but really deep symbolic ritual you'll find in Buddhist traditions all over the world, the offering of water. It's a way to purify your mind and release heavy emotions, especially when you're feeling kind of stuck or weighed down.
So the ritual is all about physically representing the act of letting go. You just take a cup of water, and as you slowly pour it out, maybe into a plant or just down the sink, you visualize whatever is stressing you out, all that anxiety, leaving your body right along with the water. You are literally, symbolically emptying yourself of that burden.
And this works because our bodies and minds are so connected. Our nervous system really responds to these kinds of symbolic actions. Modern psychology even has a term for it, somatic release. You're using a physical movement to help process an internal emotion. It's like you're teaching your body, and by extension, your mind, how to let go. And it takes less than a minute.
Now for our final ritual. This one is for all of you out there who, when you get anxious, you just can't sit still. The idea of meditating feels impossible. Well, Taoist masters had a solution for that. It's a kind of meditation in motion called walking the circle, and it's designed to dissolve that restless energy and quiet down a busy mind.
All you do is find a little space where you can walk in a circle. You start walking slowly, heel to toe, along the edge of your imaginary circle. Now here's the key. You sync your breath to your steps. So you breathe in for 3 steps, and then you breathe out for 5 steps. Keep your eyes soft, your gaze kind of downward. The circular motion itself helps break up rigid, looping thoughts, and the simple rhythm of your breathing and walking just naturally puts you in a calm, meditative state.
Okay, so let's put it all together. Here it is, your own personal ancient anxiety toolkit. When you feel that physical overwhelm and tightness in your chest, go for the vessel breath. When your mind is stuck in a worry loop, use the 4 corners to ground yourself. When life feels messy and complicated, the ink of release will bring you clarity. For that deep emotional heaviness, try the water offering. And when you're just too restless and full of nervous energy, walk the circle. You literally now have the right tool for whatever kind of anxiety life throws at you.
You know, these rituals come from a world that looks nothing like ours. But the human experience, our hearts, our breath, our minds, that hasn't changed at all. What this all proves is that you don't need some new app or some fancy biohack to find calm. You already have everything you need to reclaim your inner peace, no matter what's going on out there.
Look, this wisdom is timeless, but it only works if you use it. So the only real question left is, which one of these rituals are you going to try first? Just think about which one felt right to you and take that first small step. You've got this.
Like and subscribe for timeless wisdom.